What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to FoxtrotTalks, where we find out what the fox really says. So I had a conversation the other day about some crazy and wacky law cases that we've heard of, and I decided that might be a hell of an idea for a video. So the three wacky and wonderful law cases I found for you today include a woman who sued a weather station because they got the forecast wrong, a judge who sued a laundromat because they gave him the wrong pants, and a woman who sued her ex-fiance for calling off the marriage. The emphasis on all of these law cases is that they're all wacky and kind of ridiculous. So our first case comes out of Israel, where a woman sued a weather station because they got the forecast wrong. The weather station had said that the day was going to be bright and sunny and wonderful and fantastic. When the day actually rolled around, it ended up being stormy, rainy, and awful. Because of this gross oversight by the weather network, this woman got caught in the rain, which she alleges caused her to catch the flu, have to buy medication, and miss a whole week of work. She sued the weather station for about $1,000. So the woman claimed that this whole fiasco caused her stress, and that's what led her to the lawsuit. But I'm not really following where the stress of rain came from. Also, how you got caught in the rain. Like, there's really only two scenarios that could have happened. Like, maybe in the morning it was nice, so she dressed for nice weather. She went out and about and did her thing. And then later in the day it got rainy and she couldn't avoid it for whatever reason. Or maybe it was bright and sunny, and then suddenly it just decided to downpour rain on this poor woman. I mean, then again, she might not know that there's a telltale sign in the sky of clouds that are usually dark. That was when it's going to rain. So maybe she didn't know that, so she couldn't possibly have predicted what's going to happen. So the weather station decided to settle with the woman outside of court, paying her the $1,000 that she wanted. I don't really understand why they decided to settle this case, considering it seems like a pretty easy win. Maybe they didn't have the funds to fight it, or maybe they didn't want the bad publicity. But anyway, it happened, they settled, and it was over. So the moral of this story is that if you have big plans and need a nice sunny day, and the weather network lies to you, you might as well get refunded on that rainy day from the weather network themselves. So, if you thought that story was crazy, this next one's really gonna knock your socks off. Back in 2007, a judge by the name of Roy Pearson sued a local laundromat because they returned to him the wrong pair of pants. And that case alone is just kind of crazy that you'd even do something like that. But the amount he sued them for is what's the really crazy part. He sued this laundromat for $10 million. Okay, I'm just kidding. He didn't actually sue them for $10 million. He sued them for $67 million. Now I know what you're thinking. That is an absurd amount of money to sue somebody over a pair of pants. What you need to understand is that these pants were made from unicorn hair. So they're literally one-of-a-kind pants. There's no other pants like this on the planet. So $67 million is honestly undercutting the value of these pants. Okay, busted again. That was a lie, and these are just normal, regular pants that this guy apparently really liked a lot, because he sued a laundromat for $67 million over them. Now, Pearson did change the focus of his lawsuit later on to focus on the promises made by the laundromat, which were same-day service and satisfaction guaranteed. So Pearson did come to his senses eventually and lowered the amount asked for in the lawsuit from $67 million down to a much more reasonable $54 million. So that story was just extra crazy, and I don't think that's any way a judge should be acting. Like, to me and to like a lot of other people who paid attention to this case back when it happened, just felt like he was bullying this laundromat for no reason. So surprise, surprise, he did not win this case in the end, and he did not get paid his $54 million. But this case is used as an example of frivolous lawsuits and the problem with them in the American justice system. So our last case happened back in 2011 when Melissa Cooper sued her now ex-fiance for fraud and breach of promise. So the story goes that Melissa Cooper's ex-fiance, Christopher Kelly, gave her an engagement ring, but then after 10 years in the relationship, ended the relationship for another woman. Now, Melissa Cooper's argument is that that ring represented a promise, and Christopher Kelly did not follow through on the promise, therefore it's a breach of promise and fraud, and she sued him for $50,000, which she actually won. Now, Christopher Kelly tried to argue that the ring wasn't intended to promise marriage and that he didn't follow through on any other commitments that would suggest they were getting married, but the court said no, and threw that out, and he lost. So this is another one of those crazy law cases. But this one, I'm kind of okay with, because he cheated on her with another woman after they'd been in a relationship for 10 years. Like, who does that? Why would you do that? So this is a lovely example of karma and what happens when you do something terrible. And on top of that, it's a good reminder not to make promises you can't keep. I think an even bigger, more important point that this story brings out is that don't cheat on somebody. If you're not happy in a relationship, break it off. Like, I know it hurts, I know it sucks, breakups are the worst, but you know what's worse? Cheating on somebody. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a like below and subscribe to my channel to see more cool videos like this. And let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of these frivolous law cases. Like, do you think that these cases should be thrown out right away? Do you think there should be some sort of penalty if you're making a case like this? Or do you think some of these people had a point and that they actually had a case on their hands? Let me know. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode.